I'm staring at my bank statement, and honestly, I don't even recognize the numbers anymore. $180,000. Gone, just like that. But you know what? I'd do it again in a heartbeat. Emily's wedding was perfect. Ice sculptures, a live orchestra, flowers imported from Ecuador. My little girl deserved nothing less. After her mother died 12 years ago, I made a promise at that grave. I'd give our daughters everything, and I kept that promise. God, I kept it so well. My phone rings. It's Sarah, the wedding photographer. But she's not calling about prints or albums. She's crying, like full-on sobbing. Mr. Harrison, she chokes out. I wasn't going to say anything, but you were the only one who treated me like a human being at that wedding. Everyone else. Her voice cracks. Please, open your email. There's a folder called Making of. Photo number 32. Zoom in on the mirror behind the bride and groom. I'm so sorry. My hand hovers over the mouse. My heart's pounding. What the hell could be in a wedding photo that would make a stranger cry for me? Before I can click, my office door slams open. No knock, no warning. Jessica, my oldest, storms in with Kyle trailing behind her like a lost puppy. Dad, she says, not even looking at me, scrolling through her phone. We need 10 grand. Bali. 2 weeks. Don't give me that look. You just dropped nearly 200,000 on Emily's wedding. Kyle actually laughs. Come on, old man. Stop being cheap. Cheap. The word hits me like a slap. I want to say something, but then I hear it. Ping. The email. It's loaded. I glance at the screen. Photo 32. A beautiful shot of Emily and Mark in the bridal suite. Champagne glasses raised, smiling, but then I see it. The mirror. The reflection. There's a whiteboard behind them. And written in Emily's handwriting, I'd know that loopy script anywhere, are the words, Project Rich Widower, Year 1, the nursing home. Below it, a timeline, a budget, and names. Emily, Mark, Jessica, Kyle. They're all there, laughing, toasting, planning me, my funeral, my disappearance, my money, and Jessica, the one standing in my office right now demanding a vacation, is in that photo, holding that board, smiling. My vision tunnels. My ears ring. I feel my blood turn to ice, but somehow, I smile. I look up at Jessica and Kyle, and I smile so wide it hurts. You know what? I say, voice steady. You're right. You deserve a vacation. I open my banking app, $50,000. I transfer it right there, right in front of them. Jessica's eyes go wide. She actually squeals. Oh my God, Daddy, I love you. She kisses my cheek. They're out the door in seconds, laughing, already planning where to spend it. The second the door closes, I pick up my phone. My hands aren't shaking anymore. They're steady, cold. I dial a number I swore I'd never need. Davidson and Clark, criminal defense. The best in the state. Robert Harrison, I say when he picks up. I need to see you tonight and bring someone from forensic accounting. There's a pause. And what's this about, Robert? I look back at photo 32, at my daughters, at the whiteboard, at the life I gave them. They think they just won the lottery. I say quietly. They have no idea they just funded their own prison sentence. You need to understand something about me. After Margaret died, I didn't just raise those girls. I worshipped them. Every dance recital, every college application, every bad breakup. I was there. I canceled business trips. I turned down promotions that would have meant relocating. When Jessica wanted to find herself in Europe for 2 years, I funded it. When Emily decided marketing wasn't her passion and switched majors 3 times, I smiled and wrote the checks. I told myself I was building their confidence, giving them the freedom Margaret and I never had growing up. But looking back now, sitting in Sarah's cramped photography studio at 11 p.m., I realize what I actually did. I didn't raise daughters. I raised predators. And I was so busy being their ATM that I never noticed when they started seeing me as prey. Sarah's hands are shaking as she pulls up the raw footage on her computer. "There's more," she whispers. The videographer left his equipment running during the reception setup. The mics were hot. I almost deleted this, Mr. Harrison. But you need to hear it." She clicks play. Static. Then voices. Mark's voice, smug and clear. "The old man's already losing it. Did you see him forget where he parked at the rehearsal dinner?" Laughter. Emily's laughter. My Emily. "Mom's medication strategy is working. 6 more months of accidentally mixing up his pills, and we can get a doctor to declare him incompetent. Then it's conservatorship, and Dad's out. We're in." Another voice joins. Kyle. "What about Jessica's portion?" Mark again. "She gets the house in Aspen. We get the company. It's already drafted. Robert Harrison doesn't even know he's being erased." I can't breathe. Sarah's crying again. But I'm not. I'm somewhere else entirely. I'm remembering. The insomnia that started 6 months ago. The brain fog. The time I couldn't remember my own assistant's name and Emily insisted I see a neurologist. The vitamins Jessica started bringing me every morning, saying she was worried about Dad's health. It wasn't love. It was poison. Low grade, untraceable, just enough to make me seem senile, just enough to make everyone believe I needed help, just enough to steal my life while I was still living it. And suddenly, the grief I've been drowning in since Margaret died transforms into something else, something cold, something sharp. I stand up, thanks Sarah, and ask her to send me everything, every photo, every audio file, every single frame. She nods, terrified. As I walk to my car, I feel something I haven't felt in years. Clarity. They wanted a confused old man they could control. Fine. I'll give them exactly that. But confusion is one hell of a disguise for a man planning a war. The drive home is a blur. But by the time I pull into my driveway, the driveway I paved when the girls were learning to ride bikes, I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm not going to confront them. I'm not going to cry or yell or demand answers. No. I'm going to give them exactly what they want. A confused, weak, generous old fool. Because the best trap in the world, it's the one baited with greed. I stumble through the front door, deliberately knocking over the umbrella stand. "Damn it," I mutter loudly. Jessica appears from the living room, phone in hand, annoyed. "Dad, seriously? Are you okay?" I blink at her slowly, like I'm trying to remember who she is. "Jessica." "Yes. Sorry, sweetheart. Where did I put my reading glasses?" She exchanges a look with Kyle. That look, the one that says it's working. "They're on your head, Dad," she says slowly, like I'm 5 years old. I reach up, feel them, and laugh too loudly. Oh, silly me. The performance has begun. 3 days later, I call a family meeting. Emily and Mark drive in from their new condo, the one I gave them as a wedding gift. Jessica and Kyle come downstairs from the guest suite, the one they've been, temporarily, staying in for 8 months. We sit in the dining room, the one where we used to have Sunday dinners when Margaret was alive. I can barely look at the empty chair at the end. "I've been thinking," I start, voice a little too soft, a little too tired. The wedding, the expenses. I realize I've been holding the reins too tight. "Mark, you're family now. You should learn the business. I want to give you early access to some of the company accounts. Maybe let you make some decisions." Mark's eyes light up. It's disgusting. "Robert, that's really generous," he says, trying to sound humble. Emily squeezes his hand. Jessica's practically vibrating with excitement. And honestly, I continue, rubbing my temples like I have a headache. I'm tired. So tired. Maybe it's time I step back. Let you kids take the lead. What they don't know, what they can't know, is that the documents I slide across that table aren't ownership transfers. They're fiduciary responsibility agreements. Every signature Mark scribbles, every initial Emily witnesses. It's not giving them power. It's tying a noose. My lawyer drafted these beauties. Any dollar they move, it's under federal oversight now. Any mistake, it's not a family dispute anymore. It's embezzlement, wire fraud, securities violation. I watch Mark sign page after page, his hand steady, confident. He thinks he's won. Emily kisses my cheek before they leave. We'll take such good care of everything, Daddy. You just rest. I smile. I wave. And the second their car pulls away, I pour myself 3 fingers of bourbon and make a toast to the empty room. To the best actors in the family, I whisper. May you enjoy your final performance. It takes exactly 48 hours for them to start spending. Jessica posts the first photo on Instagram. Her and Kyle at some rooftop bar downtown. Bottles of Dom Perignon lined up like trophies. Caption reading, "Finally living the life we deserve." No more poor decisions. I'm sitting in my study with a glass of scotch, scrolling through her feed, and I actually laugh. It's not a happy laugh. It's the kind of laugh you make when you realize the people you loved most in the world think you're too stupid to use social media. Kyle posts next, a leased Porsche 911, bright red, $50K down payment courtesy of the bank of Dad. He's not even trying to hide it. The comments are full of friends congratulating him, asking how he got so lucky. One guy writes, "Bro, your girl's dad is a walking ATM LOL." Kyle replies, "You have no idea. This is just the beginning." But here's the thing they don't know. When I gave them that house as a guest suite, I installed a state-of-the-art security system, cameras, audio, all perfectly legal. It's my property, my name on the deed. And every night, I sit here with my laptop open, watching the live feed like it's the worst reality show ever made. Last night, I watched Jessica and Emily sit in my kitchen, drinking my wine, talking about which nursing home has the cheapest rates. We just need him confused enough that a judge signs off on the conservatorship, Emily said, swirling her Merlot. Then we liquidate the portfolios before he knows what's happening. Jessica laughed. I already looked at that place off Route 9. It's like $3,000 a month. We could keep him alive for years on that budget and still clear 8 figures. I had to pause the recording. I had to walk away. Because if I kept watching, I might have done something I'd regret. You know what the worst part is? It's not the betrayal. It's not even the theft. It's realizing that I did this. I'm the one who taught them that money solves problems, that Daddy's wallet is infinite, that love means never hearing the word no. Margaret used to warn me, "Robert, you're spoiling them," she'd say, watching me buy Jessica her 3rd car after she totaled the 2nd one. "They need to learn consequences." I'd kiss her forehead and say, "Let me worry about that." Well, I'm worrying now. I'm worrying as I watch Mark, the son-in-law I paid $180,000 to welcome into this family, walk into my company headquarters and fire Gerald. Gerald, who's been with me for 23 years. Gerald, who came to Margaret's funeral and held my hand during the eulogy. Mark replaces him with some frat brother who doesn't know a balance sheet from a napkin. And I let it happen. I sit in my office, pretending to be confused, watching my legacy get gutted by a man who married my daughter for a pension plan. But every termination, every signature, every cruel decision, I'm documenting it. Because when this is over, Mark won't just lose his job. He'll lose his freedom. Sunday dinner. It used to be sacred in this house. Margaret would make her famous pot roast. The girls would actually put their phones down, and we'd talk, laugh, be a family. Now it's a stage. And tonight, I'm giving the performance of my lifetime. We're halfway through the meal. Some catered thing Emily ordered because God forbid anyone actually cook when I do it. I let my fork clatter to the plate. My hand goes to my chest. I can't. I gasp. stumbling back from the table. My chair tips. I go down hard, and let me tell you, hitting a hardwood floor at 63 years old. That part wasn't acting. That actually hurt. But here's what happens next. Here's the moment that changes everything. Emily doesn't scream. Jessica doesn't rush over. Mark doesn't call 911. They freeze. And in that freeze, I see it. I see them looking at each other. A whole conversation happens in 3 seconds. Jessica's eyes say, "Is this it? Is this the moment?" Emily's face says, "Should we wait?" And Mark actually checks his watch. I'm lying on the floor, clutching my chest, making choking sounds, and my son-in-law checks his goddamn watch like he's timing a roast. Finally, after what feels like an eternity, but is probably 90 seconds, Emily pulls out her phone. Her hands are shaking, but not with panic, with excitement. "Yes, 911, my father collapsed. He's not responsive." Lie. I'm staring right at her. Our eyes meet. She knows I can see her, and she smiles. It's small, almost invisible, but it's there. What they don't know is that Maria, my housekeeper, the woman who's cleaned this house for 15 years, who cried at Margaret's funeral, who still asks about the girls every week, is in the kitchen, and Maria's holding her phone up, recording everything through the crack in the door. Later, at the hospital, she'll send me the footage, and I'll watch it over and over. I'll watch my daughters stand over my body, doing mental math about inheritance timelines. I'll watch Kyle Google, "How long does probate take in this state?" while I'm literally on the floor. And I'll watch Mark finally, reluctantly, kneel down and check my pulse, whispering to Emily, "Still strong. Damn it." Like my survival is an inconvenience. The ambulance comes. They load me up. At the hospital, Dr. Weinstein, my college roommate, my fishing buddy, the man who delivered both my daughters, examines me and plays along perfectly. "Robert needs complete rest," he announces gravely to my family in the waiting room. No stress, no business decisions, no legal documents. His heart can't take it. Jessica's face falls. Emily goes pale, because suddenly, their timeline just got complicated. I spend 3 days in that hospital bed, and honestly, best 3 days I've had in months. No pretending at home, no watching them plot through security cameras. Just me, bad jello, and a legal team working around the clock in a conference room downtown. But Jessica, Jessica can't wait. See, the problem with greed is that it makes you stupid, impatient, reckless. And my oldest daughter, she's about to make the mistake that costs her everything. Day 2 of my hospital stay, I get a call from my bank. "Mr. Harrison, we have a situation. Someone tried to access your safety deposit box using a forged power of attorney." My heart rate monitor actually spikes. The nurse comes running, thinks I'm coding. I wave her off. "Who?" I ask, even though I already know. "Your daughter, Jessica, and sir, she also attempted to transfer several pieces of artwork and jewelry from your home vault. When the digital lock wouldn't open, she tried to hire a locksmith to drill it." I close my eyes. Part of me, some stupid, dying part that still remembers piggyback rides and bedtime stories, wants to believe she wouldn't. But I know better now. "Thank you for calling," I tell him. "Please document everything. I'll handle it." She shows up that night. 9 p.m. Visiting hours are over, but Jessica's never cared much for rules. She storms past the nurse's station, shoves my door open so hard it slams against the wall. I'm lying there, oxygen tube in my nose, monitors beeping, looking every bit the frail old man. "Where's the code, Dad?" "No. How are you feeling?" "No. I was worried." "Just where's the money?" I blink at her slowly, playing confused. "Code? Sweetheart. What code?" Her face twists. She's furious. "Don't play dumb with me. The vault. The safety deposit box." "You changed everything." She's screaming now. A nurse appears in the doorway, alarmed. Jessica ignores her. She grabs my wrist, the one with the IV, and squeezes. I know you're faking this. I know you're not as sick as you're pretending. Give me the goddamn codes, or I swear, or you'll what? I open my eyes fully, look right at her, and I'm not confused anymore. I'm crystal clear, stone cold. You'll put me in a home, steal my company, poison me just enough to make me look senile? Her hand drops. The color drains from her face. Dad, But I'm already pressing the call button, not the nurse button. The security button, the one Dr. Weinstein told me about. The one that brings hospital security and, if necessary, police. Get out of my room, I say quietly. And Jessica, that little performance. The cameras in here caught everything. Assault, elder abuse, threatening a patient. The cops are already on their way. She backs toward the door, panicking, trying to salvage it. Daddy, please, I didn't mean... But 2 security guards are already there, hands on her arms, escorting her out. I hear her screaming all the way down the hallway. Something about how I'm a liar, how I'm trying to ruin her life, how she's the victim. The nurse comes back, checks my vitals, asks if I'm okay. I'm perfect, I tell her, and I mean it. Because the first domino just fell. And the beautiful thing about dominoes, once they start, they don't stop. 2 weeks later, I'm discharged. Miraculous recovery, Dr. Weinstein announces with a wink only I can see. I come home to a house that feels like a mausoleum. Jessica and Kyle have moved out, into a hotel I hear, since they apparently never thought about having their own income. Emily and Mark are still in the condo I bought them, pretending everything's fine, texting me daily with messages like, "So glad you're feeling better, Dad," with heart emojis. It's pathetic, but I'm not done, not even close. See, I need all of them in one room. I need witnesses. I need the kind of ending that leaves no room for appeals or second chances. So I do something they'd never expect. I invite them to dinner. And to celebrate Emily and Mark's 1-month anniversary, the invitation says, catered by that fancy French place downtown, open bar. Let's put the past behind us and move forward as a family. I can practically hear them salivating through the phone when they RSVP. Jessica calls me. Voice syrupy sweet. Daddy, I'm so sorry about the hospital. I was just worried about you, and I got emotional. I cut her off gently. Water under the bridge, sweetheart. Just come to dinner. We'll talk about everything. When I hang up, my lawyer texts me, "You're sure about this?" I text back, "Absolutely. Make sure everyone's in position. The night arrives." They show up dressed like they're going to the Oscars. Emily in a dress that costs more than most people's monthly rent. Jessica dripping in jewelry I bought her over the years. Each piece a reminder of my stupidity. Mark and Kyle in suits, puffed up like peacocks, acting like they own the place. We sit, we eat. The tension is thick enough to cut, but they're trying so hard to act normal, to act like a loving family. Mark even tells a joke. Kyle laughs too loud. Emily keeps touching my hand, asking if I need anything, and I let them perform. I smile. I nod. I play the grateful father. Finally, dessert arrives. Creme brulee, Margaret's favorite. The irony isn't lost on me. "Before we finish," I say, standing up with my wine glass, "I want to show you all something special. A tribute to love, to family, to the bond we share." I nod to Maria. She dims the lights. A projector screen descends from the ceiling. I had it installed last week. I had Sarah compile some of the best moments from the wedding. I thought we could relive that beautiful day together. The video starts. Soft music. Beautiful shots of the venue, the flowers, Emily walking down the aisle. They're smiling, relaxed. Then the music changes. It gets darker, dissonant. Photo 32 fills the screen. The bridal suite, the champagne glasses, and the mirror, the whiteboard. Project Rich Widower, Year 1, the nursing home. Emily's face goes white. Mark chokes on his wine. The video continues. Audio now. Mark's voice. The old man's already losing it. Emily's laugh. Kyle discussing my portion. Jessica planning the cheapest facility. Then new footage. The hospital security camera. Jessica grabbing my wrist, screaming, threatening. And finally, the kitchen footage from the night I collapsed. 90 seconds of them staring at my body, doing nothing. Maria's timestamp clear in the corner, 1 minute 34 seconds before 911 call placed. The video ends. The lights come up. Nobody's eating. Nobody's breathing. Emily's crying, but they're not the fake tears she's so good at. These are real. Panicked. Daddy, she whispers. It's not. We were just. But I'm not listening. I pick up my phone, tap the screen once. The dining room doors open, and they walk in. 2 police officers, 3 FBI agents in suits, and my lawyer, carrying a briefcase thick with documents. Emily, Jessica, Mark, Kyle, I say calmly, setting down my wine glass. I'd like to introduce you to the people who are going to be handling your case. Wire fraud, elder abuse, conspiracy to commit financial exploitation, and Mark, that fiduciary agreement you signed, every dollar you moved, every person you fired, every decision you made, federal crime. Mark tries to stand. An agent puts a hand on his shoulder, sits him back down. We have warrants, the lead agent says. Jessica starts sobbing. Real, ugly sobs. Daddy, please. We're your daughters. You can't do this. We're family. I lean forward, look her dead in the eye. You stopped being my family the day you wrote my name on a nursing home brochure, I say quietly. Now you're just criminals who happen to share my DNA. Emily tries one last time. She falls to her knees, actually falls to her knees like we're in some kind of soap opera, and reaches for my hand. Daddy, please. It was just talk. We never actually. We wouldn't have gone through with it. Her mascara's running. Her voice is breaking. And for just a second, one tiny, pathetic second, I almost feel something. Almost. Then I remember the whiteboard, the timeline, the pills Jessica was switching, the 94 seconds they let me lie on the floor. You're right, I say softly. She looks up, hopeful. You never would have gone through with it, because I stopped you. The hope dies in her eyes. Mark's trying a different approach. He stands up, tries to put on his corporate voice, the one he uses in board meetings he has no business being in. Robert, let's be rational here. We can work this out. I'll resign from the company. We'll return the money. Just call off the authorities and we can handle this privately. Sit down, Mark. The FBI agent's hand is back on his shoulder, firmer this time. My lawyer steps forward, opens his briefcase with a theatrical snap. God, I love this man. Mark Preston, he says, reading from a document. On September 3rd, you signed a fiduciary responsibility agreement for Harrison Industries. In the 14 days following, you authorized $340,000 in unauthorized transfers, fired 6 employees without cause, all of whom have filed wrongful termination suits, by the way, and attempted to restructure the corporate bylaws to grant yourself executive authority. All of this while the rightful CEO was under medical duress you helped orchestrate. He looks up, smiles. That's not a civil matter, son. That's a federal felony. Multiple counts. Kyle's the first to actually get handcuffed. He tries to run. He actually tries to run and makes it about 4 steps before an officer tackles him into my antique credenza. The sound of wood splintering is almost poetic. They haul him up, cuff him, read him his rights while he's screaming about police brutality and how his uncle's a lawyer. Jessica's next. She's not crying anymore. She's just frozen, in shock. Like she genuinely can't believe this is happening. The house, she whispers, as they put the cuffs on. The Aspen house. You said I'd get the Aspen house. I tilt my head. Oh, that funny story. Remember those $50,000 I gave you and Kyle? That was actually a secured loan, collateralized against the Aspen property. You had 30 days to repay. You didn't. So I foreclosed. This morning, actually. And since you were living there without paying rent, I shrug. That's trespassing. Criminal trespassing on foreclosed property. Her legs give out. The officers have to hold her up. But Emily's the one who surprises me. She doesn't beg anymore. Doesn't cry. She just stares at me with this look of pure hatred. You're a monster, she says quietly. We're your children, your blood, and you're destroying us over money. I stand up. Walk over to her slowly. Look down at this woman I held in the delivery room 31 years ago. This little girl I taught to ride a bike, whose scraped knees I bandaged, whose college I paid for, whose wedding I bankrupted myself to make perfect. No, Emily, I say. I'm destroying you because you tried to destroy me first. The money's just evidence. Mark lunges at me. The agents grab him, slam him against the wall. He's screaming now, red-faced, spitting. You're a bitter old man. You can't stand that we were smarter than you, that we saw you for what you are, a washed-up as being clinging to money because you have nothing else. I don't react, don't flinch. I just nod to the officers. Add assault to his charges, please. As they drag him out, still screaming, threatening lawsuits, threatening me, I turn to my lawyer. The house. Sold this morning. Closed escrow at 9 a.m. The new owners take possession Monday. I smile. And the company? Restructured. All of Mark's decisions have been reversed. The fired employees are reinstated with back pay and compensation. Mark's name has been removed from every document, every account, every door. Good. I watch through the window as they load all four of them into separate police cars. Jessica's still crying. Kyle's yelling. Emily's just staring straight ahead like a ghost. And Mark. Mark sees me watching. He mouths something. I think it's, "I'll kill you." I blow him a kiss. The cars pull away. Sirens silent, but lights flashing red and blue across my front lawn. My neighbors are probably watching. Let them. Let the whole world watch. The house is quiet now. Too quiet. Maria's cleaned up the dinner, the untouched creme brulee, the wine glasses with lipstick stains, the chairs knocked over in the chaos. She asks if I need anything before she goes. I tell her no. Tell her to take the week off. Paid. She deserves it after everything. When the door closes behind her, I'm alone, completely alone. And for the first time in weeks, I let myself feel it. I walk through the rooms slowly. The living room where Jessica took her first steps. The kitchen where Emily used to do homework while Margaret cooked. The back patio where we had birthday parties, graduation celebrations, Sunday barbecues. Every corner of this house is haunted. Not by ghosts, by memories of people who don't exist anymore. Or maybe they never existed at all. Maybe I just loved the idea of them so much that I invented daughters who were never real. I sit in Margaret's chair, the one by the window that nobody's sat in since she died. And I let myself cry. Not for them, for me. For the future I thought we'd have. Grandkids, holidays, growing old surrounded by family who actually gave a damn. All of it, gone, burned, and yeah, I'm the one who lit the match, but they're the ones who poured the gasoline. My lawyer calls the next morning. Mark's being held without bail, flight risk. Jessica and Kyle posted bail, but they're under house arrest. Emily. He pauses. Emily's pregnant. The words hit me like a truck. I'm going to be a grandfather, and I'll never meet that child, never hold them, never get the chance to do it right this time. Robert? You still there? Yeah, I manage. I'm here. The trial's set for March. With the evidence we have, the DA's confident. We're looking at 7 to 10 years for Mark, 3 to 5 for the girls, 2 for Kyle. Numbers, prison sentences, my daughters, measured in years behind bars. Good, I say, because what else is there to say? He tells me the company's stock actually went up after news broke about Mark's fraud. Investors were relieved I was still in control. Offers are coming in. People want to partner, to buy, to invest. Harrison Industries is going to survive this. Thrive, even. But I don't care. Not really. 6 months pass. I don't go to the trial. Can't stomach it. My lawyer handles everything. Sends me updates I barely read. Guilty. 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 4 verdicts. 4 lives destroyed. I sell the house. Can't live there anymore. Too many ghosts. I buy a small condo downtown. Minimal. Clean. No memories. I'm packing up Margaret's things when I find it. A letter. Her handwriting. Dated 2 weeks before she died. My darling Robert. It starts. If you're reading this, I'm gone, and I need you to know something. You're going to want to give the girls everything. It's who you are. But please, my love, teach them to earn it. Teach them that love isn't money, that family isn't transactions. I'm afraid of what they'll become if you don't. I read it 3 times, then I burn it, because she was right, and I didn't listen. And now we're all paying the price. But here's the thing about hitting rock bottom. There's nowhere to go but up. I'm sitting in a cafe one morning, reading the paper, when someone sits across from me. Sarah, the photographer. Mr. Harrison, she says softly. I heard about everything. I'm so sorry. We talk. For hours. She tells me about her struggling art career, how she's thinking of giving up. I tell her about the company, the trial, the loneliness. And somewhere in that conversation, something shifts. I offer to invest in her gallery, not out of guilt or obligation, but because she was the only person who told me the truth when it cost her something. She tries to refuse, says it's too much. I insist. Let me do one thing right, I tell her. She agrees. We shake hands. And for the first time in 6 months, I feel something other than rage or grief. I feel purpose. A year later, I'm standing in that gallery at the opening night. Sarah's photos line the walls. The place is packed. Critics, buyers, people who actually appreciate art. She finds me in the crowd, hugs me tight. Thank you, she whispers, for believing in me. I smile. A real smile. Thank you, I say back, for saving my life. Because she did. Maybe not the way she intended. But she gave me the truth. And the truth, painful as it was, set me free. I lost my daughters that day, but I got something back that I didn't even know I'd lost. Myself. My dignity. My ability to look in the mirror without seeing a fool staring back. People ask me sometimes if I regret it, if I wish I'd just let it go, forgiven them, kept the family together at any cost. And my answer's always the same. No. Because keeping them in my life would have meant losing myself completely. It would have meant dying slowly in some facility while they auctioned off my memories. Sometimes you have to prune the dead branches so the tree can survive. And yeah, it hurts. God, it still hurts. But it's the pain of healing, not the pain of dying. I'm 64 now. I travel. I invest in people who deserve it. I sit on the board of Sarah's gallery and 3 other nonprofits. I have friends, real ones, who like me for me, not my bank account. I even started dating again. Nothing serious, but it's nice. To feel wanted for something other than money. To laugh with someone who doesn't have an ulterior motive. The company's thriving. I'm grooming a successor, someone talented, hungry, ethical, someone who earned their place. And when I'm gone, Harrison Industries will live on. Not as a monument to my failure as a father, but as proof that you can build something real, something good, even after everything falls apart. But you know what? My story isn't unique. In fact, the next one makes mine look tame. Because imagine being thrown out of your own house, in the rain, no money, no phone, nothing, by your husband and his mistress. Imagine having literally nothing except an old debit card from your dead father. A card you haven't touched in years. Now picture this. You walk into a bank, hands shaking, expecting it to be declined, but instead, the ATM screen freezes. The manager comes running out, and he's not calling security. He's trembling. Because that card, it's connected to an account so massive, so powerful, that it changes everything. Rachel thought she'd lost it all. Turns out, she'd just inherited a weapon, and what she did with it. Let's just say her ex-husband learned a very expensive lesson about underestimating his wife. Click here to see how this wife turned the tables.